Mr. Speaker, this government just is not listening. Now, one of my constituents, Allan, crossed the border with his wife to attend a matter in Washington State and returned an hour later. Now, despite the government announcing a 72-hour exemption and being fully vaccinated, because Allan doesn't use a smartphone, he and his wife were told their documents weren't acceptable and they would have to quarantine and send in virtual tests or face a $5,000 fine. Will the government quit discriminating against people like my constituents for not having a smartphone and immediately rescind this unfair quarantine order?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as my colleague just acknowledged, this government has already introduced flexibility at the border to ensure that we are facilitating the arrival of those Canadians, including the 72-hour exemption rule, particularly for those Canadians who are going back and forth across the border and who need essential goods. But we will not compromise when it comes to health and safety, Mr. Speaker, and that's the reason why we are requiring those returning from the United States to be fully vaccinated. That's why, Mr. Speaker, we use the Arrive Can app to ensure the health and safety of all Canadians, particularly now as we're dealing with a new variant of concern in Omicron.
The Honourable Member for